Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, I'm going to be working on a whip from Midnight Masquerade. This is a book that I do have one completed page in, but I really haven't done a whole lot else in here other than little bits and pieces here and there. So yeah, there's my completed page, which I like, but it was early on when I first got the book. I think I want to work on this one. I think what I want to do is try to do a background. I did write down the colors that I used for this peacock to try to maybe use those colors in different areas on the page. But I think what I want to try to do is work on a background, possibly. I also have this one, but this rat creeps me out. It's just scary. But I could also try to do a little background on that as well. But I have a couple of different things that I want to play with today. So, yeah, let me grab a sip of my tea here and we'll get started. All right, so I have been really, well, not getting a ton done, but I've gotten quite a bit done in my hardback books so far this month. Pretty pleased with that. A lot of them have been whips that I have been neglecting. I guess is probably the proper term for it. Let me get a couple of backer pages in here. Okay, got some backer pages in. So I have a couple of water-based markers I have that I just recently purchased. I have all these water brushes that I want to try out. And then I have my Supracolors and my Neocolors off to the side here. I haven't really played with these a whole ton, so I kind of just want to mess with them a little bit more. I do love these watercolor pencils. So yeah, I kind of want to play with those a little bit. I feel like those are good colors to go with what I've already got on the page. So I'm going to set those off to the side here, and we're going to do, let's see, what should I work on first? I mean, I know I want the background, but I don't really know what I want. Like, do I want it to be a sunset? Do I want it to just be straight nighttime sky? Do I want it to be like a galaxy kind of thing? I really like this peacock, and I don't want to mess up the page because I like the way that he turned out. So I need to figure this out, right? All right, so let's just do a whole background with, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to start grabbing stuff, and you guys are going to go along for the ride, and we're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to start with these guys. These are all similar colors to what I used in the peacock, but we're going to make it work, I guess. Okay, here we go. So hi, everybody. I hope you are doing well. It is Friday morning-ish for me, mid-morning, I'll say, and I am doing well. Yeah, I just had a lovely week. Nothing too crazy going on. Yeah, not a ton to do this week, and I'm not mad about it. I do need to figure out, I need to get to planning. Like, my youngest has decided that we need to get out of Indiana for a little while, so I need to get to planning that. I'm thinking we'll probably go somewhere in July, just so that, you know, I have some time to plan and it's not just an immediate, oh, we're gonna leave this next weekend, sure, let's go. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. Okay, I love this color. This jade green is so beautiful. Where else do I want this color to be? I'm thinking that I want like a light color to kind of swirl through there. But not, I want a little bit of color around her face. Just a little bit though. Oh, I do need to get in between the sails and stuff on the ship. That'll work. But yeah, I am just just having a nice relaxing time and not worrying too much about anything. It's finally starting to get hot here, which I'm not a big fan of. The weather lately had been just beautiful. It was like the highs were in like the upper 70s, and I could have the windows open and not like feel like I wanted to melt. And then this week the highs are all of a sudden in the high 80s, and I'm like, that's a little too much of a leap for me, thanks. But yeah, I'll leave a little open space there, and then just add a little bit of this color here and a little bit of this color down here. Let's see how that goes. Bring this over here. So yeah, I'm just going to flip back and forth between these colors and see what happens. Like I don't have, like I said, I just want like a little light swirl through there, but I don't really even know. I don't know. We're just going to play and see how it goes. But yeah, so let's see, channel news. I have been planning out all the stuff for my, I don't want that color anymore, for my color along. So I have my inspiration sheet now. I know exactly which page I'm going to do, and I am super excited about that. I have an idea in my head, so that will be the next video that I start filming. I did film and post actually 2 videos this week. I did one which was a haul video, so it's all of the fun things that I've gotten over the past probably like 6 months or so. It's been a while since I've done a haul, and these are all mostly untouched items too. I've bought a few things here lately. Like it just seems like I was buying a ton of stuff and I didn't really realize I was doing that. So I was like, I should probably do a haul and then just put some of these things away and then see how we're doing. I think so. I want the color to start right in there. So we're gonna add color here, but then leave that white space there and see how that goes. Okay. Yeah, what does this one look like? This one is, what color is this? This is my Prussian blue. So this is going to be a really dark. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of this color first, and then I'll do the Prussian blue on top of it. Sorry, I had to stop and think about what I was doing. So yeah, so I've got a haul video out there and talk about some of the supplies that I've recently purchased and some of the books that I've gotten. And I am super excited to dig into a lot of those. So yeah, today I'm going to be using a few of my new supplies, and we'll see how that goes. I'm hopeful that they're going to be nice. So yeah. All right, let's just keep doing. I want a little bit darker up here, so we're just going to keep adding some of the dark up the top. And then I'm going to leave that, and then we'll go to this side. I know I got to do through the balustrade too. Is that what that's called? Did I get a word right? I think that's what that's called. Sometimes like words just come out of my mouth and I don't realize that I actually knew that word, and it's really surprising. Please tell me I'm not the only person that happens to. Like, it's just like I'll say it and it's used correctly, and you know, and it's just, and then other times I can't remember the word for phone or cup, you know. So silly. Yeah, so the other video that I recorded was my flip through of one of my books. So I had seen, pretty sure it was Bubble of Coloring. She had posted that there was going to be a new Tiny Worlds book out, which I really fell in love with the last one. Now, I don't have a completed page in it yet. I have several whips, but no completed pages. But I felt like, oh, I want a little bit more of this light blue somewhere. We're going to do that in here. But I felt like it was going to be a safe bet that I would like this other book. So I went ahead and bought it when I saw that she had talked about it. I went and pre-ordered it, and it came, and I love it. So it's a Tiny Worlds Fairy Homes. There is a full flip through on my channel right now. It's really short. It's only like 5 minutes. So if you want to sit down and see some of those images, they're really cute. Again, there are some areas that are very tiny. There's very tiny spaces in some of it, and it's going to be a challenge to color some of it, but I think it's going to be really cool. Okay, we're going to do this one here, and then we're going to jump a little bit and then put some dark down this side too. Let's see. So this color is here. And we'll do a little bit of this around this one. I have no idea if this is going to turn out, guys, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It always looks like a crazy hot mess, and I'm always positive that I have just completely destroyed whatever I'm trying to do. But then it's just like, no, it'll be fine. It'll turn out. It's going to look great. Let's see what else is happening. That's really the extent of the channel news. Like, there's not a ton going on with that. I am trying decently hard to make sure that I am able to complete pages, because I decided that I wanted to really focus on this one double page spread, and then of course I just messed up my hand, and it's still recovering, so I'm only able to do little bits and pieces every day. I would love to just sit down and color nonstop, but my wrist and fingers do not like that. Okay, so I have these Tombow brush markers, water brush markers, or water brushes. Geez, why do I... Because I'm always calling them Tombow brush markers. So, but anyway, Tombow water brushes. That's what these are. And I've got 3 different sizes here. So I have one that has like a larger flat tip, and then 2 different sizes of pointy brushes. So I'm going to try to use the bigger pointy brush one. I also have this Derwent push button one, but this is a very fine tip, so I'm going to save that for a smaller area. I am going to grab a towel just to clean off my brush as we go. See if I can move this around a little bit so we can actually get some. All right, so let's see how this goes. So this is very warm, or yeah, this tip is like super stiff when you start, but then as it soaks up the water, it should soften up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you just have to get it soaked, but it was like super firm to begin with. And I'm just trying not to get too much water on here because I don't want my page to be completely buckled. And again, to remember that this is just the first layer, and I can always come back and add more in. I am going to try to avoid the stars as I'm going through so that I can come back in with some metallic paint. All right, well, this seems to be working lovely. I do like this color. And we're going to start right here and kind of push the color around and see what happens. Let's see what else is going on. So I have a ton I have to do today, which my to-do list has been steadily growing because I have been slightly avoiding it. I was reading this week too, unfortunately. Like anytime I would have the urge to sit down and do something, I was picking up a book instead. There was a really good series that I was reading, and then it ended. I thought it was going to be a complete series, and I'm one book short, and I have to wait until, I don't know, the end of July or something for the next one, which is so frustrating when that happens. So frustrating. But I started reading this other book series, and it's just not as good, and it's so frustrating when that happens. I want it to be the same. I just want the quality of the books that I'm finding to be the same, and they're not. It's because it's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's just basically a crapshoot. You get what you get, and you can either find something really great or something just really terrible. And I was trying so hard to get through this one because I do like the world that this author's created, and I do like the characters. It's just not well written. It's just not there's too much of stuff that is not part of the story, and there's weird dialogue, and that one is the biggest one that always throws me off. The weird dialogue just is hard for me to overcome. Okay, let's try this in this open area here. We're gonna start in the open and just pull some of that color in. I think I might have gone too light in this area for this, but we'll see what happens. We're just gonna kind of pull the colors around. Yeah, that jade green is a nice light color, but it's maybe a little too light, so I'm gonna have to come back in with other colors. I mean, for the first use, this water brush is working very well. I was a little concerned because I have not really heard anything about Tombow brushes, but seems to be pretty good. All right. And like I said, since this is just the first layer, we don't really look at it seriously. Like, this is not the finished piece, but it's kind of, that's a nice look, right? It's pretty nice. Yeah, we'll let it dry and see what we think. Okay, I'm gonna try, oh, I don't want to get this other part over here. I'm gonna add in some more color because I already know that that's too light. So we're gonna add in a little bit of this malachite green, which is more like a turquoise. I don't know why it's called green, but that's okay. Just gonna add a little bit more of that in there. Okay. Yeah, this open space is gonna be a little too big for what I was thinking. I really just wanted like a small swirl of color. So we'll see what happens once I come back in with some more color here. All right, so I might have to be quiet for a second just so I can focus on this part. Because anytime I use a brush, you guys know that it's hard for me to think about what I'm supposed to be saying at the same time as I'm doing stuff. But these Supracolors are just like blending like awesomely. I think I really like, I don't think, I know that I really like them. I've used them on previous projects. I do also really like the Albrecht Dürer ones, which I haven't used as much either, but I only have a small set of those, so. And I was 100% enabled by watching Shell's coloring journey because I really wanted to color, like, I wanted to be Shelley when I grew up, basically. So the way that she uses the arbiters, and it's just, her pages are amazing. So yeah, that was the whole reason I got the arbiters, and I still haven't used them very much. I'm still using my Inktense quite a bit, and my Neocolors on occasion. I haven't used my Neocolors very much lately either. Okay, so this area here is going to be open. Oh. Yeah, I needed a little bit more pigment in here too, but we can always add more, so. All right, let me try out this Derwent brush since we're down into some of these little ones. So this one has a push button, so we'll push that a couple of times and see what happens. Ooh, yeah, that came right out. Okay. Let's just get in here and try this out and see how it goes. Let's see what else is going on. Not much, guys, not much. I've just been, like I said, taking it super easy this week, and it's been lovely. My oldest recently got a new tattoo, which she loves, and I love it as well. It's so cute. So previously she had her cousin and her had gone and gotten lemon tattoos because they kept calling each other their lemons. So they got lemon tattoos together. And then my daughter just kept going with the fruit theme. So now she's got a lime tattoo that connects to the lemon. So it's like a lemon and a lime on a branch, which is really cute. And then her recent tattoo was a little bird in like a wreath almost of berries and branches. And it's adorable. And it just makes me, it was something that I would want to color if I had seen it. And then the way that they filled it in with color is just so pretty. And yeah, it makes me want to go get some tattoos from them. I only have the one tattoo. And it was for my grandmother when she passed away, which was kind of ironic because she kept telling my other cousin who had a bunch of tattoos, she's like, oh, you don't need those to be beautiful. I think it was her own way of saying, I don't really love those tattoos on you, kid, but does this not go on here? Oh, it doesn't stay. Well, that's frustrating. Why make that tiny little bit there if this doesn't stay on it? Ugh. Man, I'm just never going to use this one again. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, so I have one tattoo, and I have plans for others, but I still have just never gone to get them. Yeah, I want to. Okay, I don't want to mess this tip up because it's a nice fine point tip there. These Tombow ones, since they came in a 3-pack, I don't mind messing with the tips a little bit. I did see a video not too long ago about how to fix the tips of your brushes, which I thought was kind of interesting. Okay, this feels dry to me. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, that looks like it's going again. But yeah, so I do want to get more tattoos. I had an aunt who I was super close with pass away, and I want to get a tattoo for her. And then I have a plan for a tattoo for my mom and another one for my other aunt, who is also I'm very close with. So yeah, I want to get those. And I don't want to get them, I don't know. I don't only want to have tattoos on my body for people after they pass away. So I'm trying to get a couple of them before that happens. I also want to take my existing tattoo and kind of have it interconnected with like maybe like birth month flowers for my kiddos and my husband. I don't know. I'd have to leave that up to like the tattoo artist's imagination of how they would do that. Because right now, so this is what I have. So it just says truth and love, which is how my grandma was. And I really want to have that be connected with flowers coming out around it. I think that would be really pretty. So if I could find a tattoo artist that could just do that and not, you know, I don't know. I just don't want to show up with the tattoo exactly how I want it. I would love to be able to just find an artist that I trust enough to give them like creative liberties to put something on me permanently. And I'm wondering if, because I think the majority of my daughter's recent tattoo was completely artist discretion. Like, I don't think that I think they had a couple of ideas that she had shown them, and then they just kind of did stuff. So I'm wondering if I could go to this person and see if maybe that would work. I don't know. How about you guys? Do you guys have tattoos? What do you think about tattoos? I'm just curious. I think it's more common for people to get them now. I don't think it's as looked down on as it used to be. Like when I was growing up, if you had a tattoo, that was an indication that you were, you know, out of control or a bad kid or, you know, a rough person or something like that. But I don't think that's necessarily the case anymore. I think I find, you know, as long as they're done well, I just think it's awesome to have art on your body. Like, that's amazing. Like, and the tattoo artists, you know, especially the ones that put color in their work, it's like, you want to color on my body? Okay, sure. Yes, let's do that. Now, having it be there permanently is a little scary, for sure. Yeah, if they could ever find, like, I don't know, a way to do, like, temporary tattoos that change when you want them to change or something. I don't know. Like, oh, today I'm in the mood for, I don't know, floral whatever all the way up my arm. Or today I'm in the mood for a giant dragon. So I'm in a mood. That would be so funny. I think I read too many fantasy books. What do you guys think? That's just too much magic and imagination going on there. I know they have temporary tattoos out there, temporary tattoos out there now. I have not tried any of those, but I know that they exist. Okay, so that's been good. So I can do the rest of that off screen, and you kind of can see how it's going to look. I can let's just go ahead and add some more. So I'm going to add things directly from the pencil. So this is how I do that. Let's see. Does this cap? See, this cap goes on and stays. That's the right way to do it. That's the right way. So yeah. So I'm going to take a little bit of color and. Yeah, try to remember not to do it directly over your page unless you want splatters of color everywhere. But you can just touch the pencil or touch the marker to the pencil. You can see I've got a lot of color on there, and then you can just come in and paint. And this marker is, or this color does not seem to be as dark as I'm wanting. I may have to come in with something else. We'll see, because I want this to be nice and dark up here in the corner. Or I could do the trick where I come in with chalk pastels and add that in that way. Maybe, maybe. Okay, let's see. Make sure this has got quite a bit of water running through it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's try that now. No, still not as dark as I wanted it to be. Okay. All right, let's figure out something else. So I did recently purchase some water-based markers that I thought we could try out. So I have these Primrosia ones, and I kind of want to try a couple different things. I want to try to use so I have these pastels. They don't seem really pastel-y in these colors, but I'm trying to think what would be a good one to use in here, and I want to kind of figure out what's the best way. Okay, so maybe I don't hate that 87. Okay, we'll try that one. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I want to try first to just put it on the paper and see how much it blends out with a water brush. Ooh, that moves. That moves pretty well. Now, granted, this is good paper, and I'm working rather quickly with this. Yeah, so it doesn't dissolve completely, but if you put your darker colors in the shadows, that does do pretty well. And then I can also color on this. So I have this Caran D'Ache color palette. So one side is rough and the other side is smooth, and you can use that for your water-based markers. And that way, oh, that is not the right tip. That way you can use them as watercolors. So I can just then come and pick this up and drop the color in. I do like it that way. So these would be good markers for that for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I want to make sure that this doesn't bleed through too, because that's sometimes an issue when you use water-based markers and in coloring books. They have a tendency to bleed through if you do like wet on wet techniques. Oops, I think I just flicked some color out here and I didn't mean to. Okay, well, I guess I'm doing this now. I did not mean to start this, but it's going to have to be done because I just messed something up. Okay, let's try this again. But yeah, these water-based markers definitely work well as watercolor for sure. I have recently, so I've been working a lot in my hardback books, which I think I talked about a little bit, and I have recently found out that I do not enjoy using water mediums in my Maria Trolle books that I've been coloring in so far, which is a little frustrating because I've done a few pages and they've seemed fine, but the ones I've done recently have been super super buckly, like really uncomfortably awkward buckly. And I know that there's a way to fix it, but it's just, it was frustrating. And I was just like, why does this keep happening? All right, so if I color directly on the page, let's see, how dark is that? Let's just do right along here. It's not much darker than if I'm using it as a watercolor, though. It's not too bad. I do like the brush tips a lot. There's also a fine fine liner on the other side, which will be great for that coloring book that I just bought. Oh yeah, that blends in perfectly. Look at that. That looks great. And then I already have my shadow in place. I don't have to do too much work with pencils when I come back in. Ooh, that was too much water. Yeah, and then also you have to remember with water-based markers, the more water you add, the lighter the color is going to get. Okay, that's not terrible. Some of these costumes in this book, I'm just like, I just don't know what to do with. This one's almost going to be blended in with the background. I didn't do that on purpose. I was just looking at colors that I liked. Okay. So I'll have to have some bright colors on this too, I think. We'll do some bright colors. Okay. All right, so I like that. That one was fun. Let's see if I can just pick the color up off of the tip of the marker. Okay, so let me try a different color here. Let's work on, all right, so I'm gonna get out my skin tone set because there's a very light gray color that I think will work well for the, oh, it's not that one. Now you would think that this color would not be lighter than this color, but it is. The only thing I didn't like about the Primrosia markers was that the two sets I bought, so I bought a pastel set and a skin tone set, and one of them is, or each of them have overlapping colors, which is just frustrating. So this one I'm just gonna come in and just do the, yep. Just gonna use my marker straight on there. And then I can come in and add colored pencil to this to darken things up if I want. That almost has a green tint to it. I thought this was just gray, but it does have a little bit of a green tint to it. So when I bring my pencils in, maybe I should focus on the trying to change that color just a little bit, because I'm not sure I love that. But I'm stuck with it now. I'll make the best of this situation, right? Okay, let me get this part over here done. I'm trying to decide if I want these big pieces here to be stone as well, or if I want them to be like, I don't know, wood. Would that make sense? That would look nice. Maybe like a wood and then some kind of like gold motif and then big gold giant pots there, or urns, or whatever they are. I am going to go ahead and do the ground too. Now, since this has the brush tip and is a decent marker, there's not going to be too much streaking going on, but if it did happen, because of the direction I'm coloring in, that's kind of why I was going from side to side instead of up and down, because then the ground would kind of look like if you do anticipate streaking with your water-based markers, you want them all either to go in the same direction or to go in the direction that any texture on the object you're coloring would go. So like with flowers, you would follow the direction of the petals, or with hair, you would follow whichever way the hair flows. With like, for this example, for flooring, you kind of go whichever direction you would want your flooring to go. You can get away with like using water-based markers for like wood, because you can have the wood grain going in a specific way and use the streaking to your advantage a lot of the times on those things. Okay. All right. So there are a few rough areas, especially in here, but it's not terrible. And I think that I do like these water-based or these water brushes, so that's good. It was nice to see that the markers worked really well. Yeah, I think this is going to be nice. It's going to be fun. I do want to see really quickly, just because I'm here, I want to see if I can get a nice blend on the leaves. So I think I'm going to go with like, instead of really like earthy greens, I'm going to go with like a turquoisey bright green. So I've got a couple of those in here. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can maybe use these blended as well. So I have a couple of different ones. So this one's a lighter green, so I'm going to try this first. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my darker color and add in a little bit of shadow with that. I don't even think I need to blend that out. That looks pretty good, just like that. I do wish that initial color was a little bit lighter. But since I'm doing this while it's still wet, it does have a minute to blend together. And then you can come back in with the other marker. As long as you don't go over and over and over the same spot too much, you should be able to get a decent amount of blending done. So I'm going to just open these up, and then we'll just do all of these leaves here. Typically what I would do is just put my water-based markers down and come back in with my pencils to blend. But if I can get some of the blending done ahead of time, that is lovely and saves me some time. But again, always check your paper to see what it can take, so that you don't ruin a page that you would rather not have ruined. Okay, I like those. Those look pretty close to that, right? And I can also, once these dry, I can come in with my white Prismacolor. And yeah, they're not dry yet, but I can come in with my white Prismacolor and give them even more highlights. So yeah, I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then I'll show you that, but I want to do a couple more of these. Yeah, so let's see. So yeah, I'm going to start filming my color along this weekend. So next week, hopefully be on the lookout for a color along in Magical Jungle from Johanna Basford. You can also use the same color to add a little bit of shading too when you're using water-based markers. It gives a much more subtle shading effect. But sometimes it's good to wait until it dries completely, and then you can come back in with that same color and really get some good shading in. All right, yeah, I like that. That's gonna work for me. Okay, well, that's good. I do want to use some markers on something else, or I mean some pencils on something else. So I'll probably end up using pencils on the flowers and then, you know, like their skin and stuff. I do have the skin tones though. I could use some of these skin tone. I really just got it because I needed some more neutral marker colors. Most of my marker colors are bright and bold and vibrant. So I really was trying to get pastel and neutral colors. But yeah, so these are supposed to be in the pastel set, which they're not. But if you put them like use them on a palette or, you know, watercolor paper would be perfect for these markers. And you could just water brush your heart to your heart's content, I guess. Yeah, so I like this. This is gonna be fun. All right, so that's it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed that. And yeah, just watching me play with some of my supplies. That's all this was today. Fun playtime. Yeah, thanks so much for being here. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.